Dr. Mitchell, these are my flashcards. Hi, I'd like to talk to you today about visiting the national parks in the United States. It's a really great time. Get you off the couch. All kinds of exercise. There's a ton of activities in the parks, everything from swimming, boating, canoeing, kayaking, hiking, bird watching, photography, you name it. They've got it in the national parks. And to really have a good time, though, you have to be prepared if you vacation in the national parks. It's important to have all the information you need ahead of time. There's all kinds of websites, a National Park Service site, the individual park sites, Bureau of Land Management sites. There's books in the library. There's private or, just regular people put websites. Amazon sells books. There's blogs. Information's everywhere about the national parks. A few things I'd like to point out. National parks are really remote, and there's 84 million acres, 84 million acres, I think it is, of national parks. So cell phone service isn't always available, and GPS doesn't always work either. So those are two really important things to take into consideration when you go to the national parks. The other thing you want to do is make reservations. Sometimes you have to make reservations a year ahead, and some sites are first come, first served, but with millions of people visiting the national parks every year, there's no guarantee, and you cannot just pull off the road and pitch your tent. They won't let you do that. You have to be in a designated site. So another thing to do is to make sure, if you're vacationing in the park, that you need to take an appropriate gear. Lots and lots of water. Your car might break down. If you're not a hiker, you never know what might happen. There are not convenience stores for the most part, or gas stations in the park, so that have what you need before you go. Take some pepper spray just in case you run into bears. If you're a hiker, wear long pants, leather boots that go up to your knees. There's 8,000 snake bites a year in the United States, and so some of them are fatal. So make sure you have a snake bite kit, and get to a ranger if you get bit by a snake. It's really important. National Parks, A Visual Guide by Zach Frank is a great book that will tell you in that book that there's, as far as fees to get into the parks, you can get passes. You can pay $80 and get a year pass for the national parks, and go to as many as you want. Or if you're a senior citizen, you can pay $10 and get a lifetime pass, which would really be awesome. It's one perk about getting older that I'm looking forward to. And there's some days that are free. Trailer Life magazine had an article about active duty military personnel. If they have the appropriate identification, they can get in free, which is a really wonderful thing. And if I was in the military, I would take advantage of that for sure. I mean, that seems appropriate, doesn't it? You're fighting for our country, so it would be a nice thing to find out what our country is really like. So, pets. You may want to take your pet. I hate to leave my pet home, but you have to be careful. You can only take them certain places, and you get in trouble if you leave them in the car. You always have to have them on a leash, so find out what the rules are for that. Wildlife viewing in the national parks is a fantastic experience. People just love to go to the national parks and look at wildlife. All up and down the road, you'll see people pulled over and taking pictures of all kinds of animals. There's 67 different mammals in Yellowstone alone, and there's 322 species of birds in Yellowstone. You have to get on yellowstone.net. They give you all this information, but it's really fun to be a birder. You can get on websites on the internet and type in the geographic area and bird calls, and you can learn the bird calls before you go, so that when you get there you can identify the birds you can hear. It's really, and that can be really competitive too among people. Yellowstone, I keep using them as an example, don't get within 100 yards of a bear or wolf, or within 25 yards of any other animals, although that's a little too close to buffalo. Their personalities aren't the greatest, and I wouldn't get that close to a buffalo. With safety, if you're allergic, make sure you take some Benadryl or epinephrine. If you're asthmatic, take your inhaler. Any kind of safety thing or first aid thing that you think you might need, make sure you take it with you. And follow the rules. Law Firm News blog put out some information about how many wild animal attacks there are every year. Apparently people sue. There's 30 bear attacks a year, 300 alligator attacks a year. That would hurt. It would really hurt. I keep thinking of those teeth in their mouth. Ah. Coyotes, cougars hardly ever attack. A few times a year. Fatalities are rare. They don't want to be around people. There's been one wolf attack since 2000. It just, you know, they don't, unless there's something wrong, like a rabies situation. I don't think you'll see one. Make sure you put your fire out. Don't leave your fire going. Wildlife Watching in America's National Parks. That's written by Gary Vequist and Daniel Light. They advise that you have and use your ethics. Carry in, carry out. Be considerate of the people around you. Be respectful of the people around you and the animals and the rangers. And stay on the path. Make sure you take care of your pets. Don't snitch any souvenirs, rocks from the petrified forest or anything. Just leave them there for everybody, for future generations. And lastly, I'd like to say that it's a life-changing experience, and it's something that you'll always have to think about and enjoy the memories, and probably it'll turn you into one of those people that go from park to park. You just can't get enough of them. Thank you.